You were born in 2005 in a small town in rural Kansas. Not Silicon Valley. Not Houston. A flat place where the sky feels bigger than the land. One stoplight town, grain silos, endless wheat fields. Your house is a single-story ranch, built in the 1970s. Peeling paint. One bathroom. You, your mom, your little sister. Dad left when you were 6. Mom works double shifts at the diner. Tips in singles. No health insurance. At night you lie on the roof with a cheap telescope your teacher gave you. You trace constellations. Mars is always there, a red dot that never twinkles. You decide, one day you will stand on it. You are not the smartest kid in class, but you are stubborn. You stay after school for extra physics help. You read library books until they kick you out. You build model rockets from soda bottles and vinegar. One explodes in the backyard. Mom yells. You just rebuild it better. 2023. You are 18. Graduation. Options. A local community college, then maybe transfer. A debt that will bury you. Air Force ROTC scholarship. Full ride. Aerospace engineering. You sign the papers. Lackland AFB, Texas. Basic training. 0400 Ravalli. Push-ups in the rain. Instructors scream you are nothing. You are not nothing. You will prove it. You graduate top of your flight. Commissioned officer. Pilot training. T-38s, then F-35s. You log 1,000 hours. Deployments to the Pacific. You learn to live in small spaces, eat bad food, trust your crew with your life. 2030. NASA opens the Artemis astronaut selection. 12 spots. 18,000 applicants. You apply on a whim. Written tests. Physicals. Psych evaluations. Interviews that last days. They call you in 2031. You are in. Johnson Space Center. Houston. 2 years of hell. Neutral buoyancy lab. 6 hours underwater in a 300-pound suit. Centrifuge spins until your vision tunnels. Survival training in the Canadian wilderness. Geology field trips in Arizona craters. You learn to fix a reactor with duct tape and prayer. 2033. Your first mission. Artemis 7. Lunar orbit, then landing near Shackleton crater. 10 days on the moon. You drive the rover. Collect samples. Plant the new habitat module. Earthrise every morning. You feel weightless in more ways than one. 2034. You come home a hero. Mom cries on national TV. Your sister is in college now. Your paycheck helped. However, NASA has bigger plans. 2037. You are selected for Mars. The first human mission to Mars. Crew of 4. Launch window. November 2040. Transit. 210 days each way. Surface day. 500 days. No abort options after Earth departure. You train harder. Isolation chambers for weeks. Simulated Mars habitat in the Utah desert. You grow lettuce in fake Martian soil. You practice EVA in a suit that weighs 150 pounds on Earth. Your marriage ends in 2038. She says she can't wait 2.5 years with no contact except delayed messages. You don't fight it. You understand. November 2040. Kennedy Space Center. Starship human landing system stacked taller than any rocket ever built. 400 feet of stainless steel. You strap in. Heart rate steady. Countdown reaches 0. Ignition. The loudest sound you will ever hear. 33 engines lift you off the pad. Florida falls away. Earth becomes a blue marble. 210 days to Mars. Recycled air. Recycled water. Exercise 2 hours a day or your bones dissolve. You read books. You talk to mission control with 20-minute delays. You watch the red planet grow from a dot to a world. May 2041. Mars orbit insertion. The burn works. You are in orbit around another planet. Descent day. July 14th, 2041. You are in the descent vehicle with the commander. The other 2 stay in orbit. Heat shield glows. Parachutes deploy. Sky cranes fire. Touchdown. Dust settles. Silence. You wait for systems check. Green across the board. Hatch opens. Ladder down. 38% gravity feels like walking on a trampoline. You pause at the bottom rung. One small step for a human. One giant leap for humankind. Your bootprints in red dust will last millions of years. You speak the words you rehearsed 1,000 times. We came in peace. For all humanity. The world watches on a 20-minute delay. Billions cheer. The next 500 days, you deploy the habitat. Drill for water ice. Grow potatoes in the greenhouse. Drive the pressurized rover 200 kilometers to Vales Marineris. You find evidence of ancient microbial life, black mats in the rocks. The discovery rewrites biology. But there are close calls. A solar flare forces you into the storm shelter for 3 days. A dust storm lasts 2 months and cuts power to 30%. One crewmate breaks an arm during EVA. You said it yourself. You miss fresh air. Real gravity. Rain. Your sister's wedding happens. While you are on Mars, she livestreams it with a 40-minute round-trip delay. You watch alone. November 2042. Launch window opens again. Ascent vehicle fires perfectly. Rendezvous with the orbiter. Burn for home. Another 210 days. Earth grows from a pale blue dot to a world again. May 2043. Re-entry over the Pacific. Parachutes. Splashdown. You step onto the deck of the recovery ship. Full gravity hits like a truck. Your legs buckle. Doctors catch you. Quarantine for 2 weeks. Deconditioning therapy for months. The world wants you everywhere. Parades. United Nations. Late-night shows. Schools name buildings after you. You write the book. You give the talks. You meet presidents and kings. But something is off. You wake up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling. Earth feels too loud. Too crowded. Too blue. You try relationships. They don't last. No one understands why you flinch at fireworks or why you still ration water. 2045. NASA offers you chief of the astronaut office. Desk job. You take it for a year. You hate it. 2046. You resign quietly. No press conference. Now it is 2050. You are 45. You live in a small cabin back in Kansas, under the same big sky. You consult for private space companies. You teach occasional classes. You get paid well. Sometimes you drive out to the middle of a field at night with that old telescope. Mars is a bright red star again. You made history. You touched another world. You proved humans can leave the cradle. But you left pieces of yourself scattered across 140 million miles. Friends who never flew. A marriage that couldn't survive the distance. Years you can't get back. Astronaut statistics. NASA has flown about 400 people to space. Only 12 walked on the moon. You are the first, and maybe only, of Mars for decades. Divorce rate among astronauts, 65%. Depression after long-duration missions, high but underreported. Average career length after first Mars mission, short. Most never fly again. Myth, the first human on Mars becomes immortal, happy, fulfilled. Reality, you become a ghost in your own life. You look at the red dot in the sky. You did it. Was it worth the price? You still don't know. But humanity is no longer confined to one planet. And that has to count for something. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Next video, another life. See you there.